Mike and Noel, and thank you for watching WUTV News Brief. We are here at the Coliseum, where graduation takes place. Over 1,000 students will walk across the stage, finally receiving their degrees. A recent University of West Georgia graduate is currently seeking legal action against an apartment complex shared by UWG students and locals in the community. Linda Harris, a previous tenant living in the off-campus apartment complex, The Reserve, posted videos and photos of the black mold growing throughout her unit. The horrific conditions caught the attention of many, including the health department who visited the property and determined that the levels of the mold in the apartment is high enough to cause severe concerns.
So the first thing I noticed was I had a leak in my bathroom. That's how this whole problem started. And I messaged maintenance, and it took them a week plus, not even just a week, but a week and a couple of days to come out and look at it. It came out, they said that they had fixed it, and so I was under the impression that everything would be okay. So days later, I saw a leak in the vent, when you look up in the ceiling, there was a leak as well. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to wait another week plus for this to be resolved. So I went to the leasing office and showed them pictures of everything, and they were extremely dismissive. They just said, hey, we've seen worse conditions.
Cleaning services and dumpsters were on location trying to rectify the problems. The property managers were asked for comments, but they declined. Harris requested to break her lease and was told that she would have to sign a non-disclosure agreement and remove her Twitter posts. Harris turned down the offer and is pursuing legal options. Heads up, drivers. There's new signage at crosswalks, and WTV News anchor Daisy Gonzalez tells us why the signs are needed and how to use the new signals.
Yes, we had some incidents in 2021 where pedestrians were crossing in the crosswalks, and mostly in the west side of campus area, around the baseball field and the West Commons area, and they were hit while drivers hit them while they were in the crosswalk.
In October 2019, student Hunter Browner crossed the street using the crosswalk in front of the biology building on West Georgia Drive before being struck by an oncoming car. First responders took Browner to Tanner Medical Center and released him with only minor injuries. Police cited the driver, Sarah Abdilaham, with failure to yield to a pedestrian in a crosswalk.
We want to make sure that our students are safe, and it's faculty and staff as well, but it's primarily students that you see walking around on campus. West Georgia Drive is also used as a throughway for people who don't work on campus and don't go to school here.
They were static in nature, so we kind of went back, myself and the facilities folks went back and kind of did a survey of the crosswalks on campus, trying to determine the safety value and what we can do to make them safer. And we found that maybe having more active signage out there using the strobes is another step in making these crosswalks safer.
Car versus pedestrian incidents is one of the several reasons why new strobe lights were installed on campus. Upgrading the crosswalks were part of an overall university's master plan. Officials started drafting the plan while conducting pedestrian and traffic studies of February of 2020. COVID hit, delaying the plan because there were few pedestrians and less traffic to perform adequate studies. In spring 2020, the plan resumed and has not been finalized. Even though the plan is still in draft stage, modifications to the crosswalks are still progressing.
We periodically update master plans, parking and transportation plans, pedestrian safety plans, and in coordination with one of the projects that Dr. Kelly is working on with the city for pedestrian improvements along Maple Street. I don't know if you've noticed, but they also put up crossings that have the flashing lights on Maple Street in the campus to be consistent with what the city is doing with their new standard. We also adopted, rather than just having a crossing symbol, we've upgraded, and they're solar powered.
In keeping with the city's upgrade to flashing signals at crosswalks, I asked both Watson and Schrader to explain why the strobe light signage.
These signs are designed to have a maximum impact to where when you're sitting in your car, you're able to, they're up. So if you are distracted by something else inside the car, the strobes will hopefully alert you to see, hey, somebody is activated, or there's somebody in the road, or something's going on, to make you look up and focus on, oh, somebody's in the crosswalk, and you take appropriate action to stop. So, but that's kind of what those strobe signs are designed to do.
Well, we've seen, one of the things in the study that we looked for were what are the appropriate types of signage, and this was one of them, even though one of the reasons we went with it was because the city was specifically using this sign. But what was noted in our study was some type of sign that had an electronic display, whether it's the kind, I don't know if you've seen the kind that actually have the lights that go around the sign and they blink. We have the strobe lights that blink. And, you know, just something that has that additional flash point.
Schrader says we will continue to notice upgrades for crosswalks and sidewalks as facilities carry on with construction. Watson plans to continue to collaborate with planning and construction services to pursue additional signage for safe traversing.
My goal is to move to another phase and to put some speed signs, much like you see. It's like they're solar power driven, but they basically tell you what your speed is. It's got like a little radar unit in it, and it displays the speed. So you know if you're doing over 25 miles an hour, by the way, 25 miles an hour is the campus speed limit, it'll start blinking at you. You know, if you're doing the speed limit or under, it will just show you your speed.
As new buildings come online, the continued campus construction and buildings go offline, expect to see new signage, new crosswalks, and lighting upgrades. And make sure to use these new modified signs, because drivers are now expressing their frustration on Yik Yak about pedestrians who are not following the safety procedures when crossing.
As you can see in these texts, we all need to press the button when using these crosswalks.
To see how to properly use the new installed signage, please visit our Instagram at UWG-WUTV.
A black man wrongfully convicted of killing a white man is now receiving justice after a decades-long battle. Clarence Henderson was tried and convicted by an all-white jury for murdering Carroll County resident Carl Buddy Stevens in 1948. 3 times Henderson was found guilty for shooting Stevens, a white man. Each time, the verdict was overturned by the Georgia Supreme Court due to insufficient evidence. Though the charges were never removed by the county, Henderson's great-grandson, Brandon Henderson, fought tirelessly to clear his great-grandfather's name. Finally, Carroll County's District Attorney, Jet Bendinger, formally asked the judge to clear all charges against Clarence Henderson because of lack of evidence.
It's a lot of mixed emotions. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to make sure that my great-grandfather's name was cleared on today. There was a long, fought, hard road in which we just endured as a family.
As Superior Court Judge Erica Tessinger read the verdict clearing Clarence Henderson's name, the Henderson family was overcome with tears of joy. After 73 years, the suspect in the murder of Carl Buddy Stevens still remains a mystery for the family.
It's something that, as the Henderson family described, is somewhat of a cloud that just passes on from generation to generation.
Student DUI arrests continue to trend downward at the university. Driving under the influence arrests on campus are at an all-time low. Reports from the university indicate students are choosing alternative means to get home rather than getting behind the wheel. According to University Police Department crime logs, DUI arrests spiked in 2016 and are now on the decline. UPD investigator Nakia Lewis explains the causes for the downturn.
One of the reasons would be due to, I guess, the rideshare, the creation of rideshare services like Uber, Lyft.
Lewis suspects another factor can be contributed to a change in social behavior after the pandemic.
Everybody has settled down. They want to more so be isolated. They don't want to go out, and now everything you can access is off the internet.
For students needing another safe way to get home from their nights out, the university offers the Safe Ride Shuttle. From Thursday to Saturday, 9 p.m. to 2 a.m., the Safe Ride Shuttle allows students to travel safely from Adamson Square back to campus. Students can track the shuttles on the Go West app with the UWG Navigator. Along with the Safe Ride Shuttle, Lewis encourages students to be aware of their surroundings and know how to contact emergency services.
You can call UPD. And I know people kind of sometimes get scared or steered away from calling us because they are intoxicated or whatever the case may be, but we much rather you guys do that than get in your car and drive.
Time will tell if the downward trend continues through the rest of the year. The City of Carrollton plans for the future, taking steps to enhance the community. Earlier this year, Carrollton City government initiated the Comprehensive and Downtown Master Plans. Both plans are developed to ensure city growth while soliciting community feedback. The Comprehensive Plan is a requirement of the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, which requires a 20-year plan that receives updates every 5 years, covering matters of land use, tourism, and service and safety. The Downtown Master Plan hopes to improve the downtown area through the community-based Renaissance Strategic Visioning and Planning process, or RSVP for short, through the Carl Vinson Institute of Government. Both plans invited input from the community via a now closed online survey on the city's website. Carrollton's Community Development Director, Erica Studdard, explains how the plan will be organized.
And they're going to take that information and try to craft it into a workable plan with both short-term goals and long-term goals.
Visit carrolltonga.com for more details. Another building gets a facelift as construction continues on campus. The University of West Georgia Student Activity Center, also known as the Hangar, is getting a makeover. The 40-year-old part cinder block, part metal panel building is known to many in the community as the former Carroll County Animal Storm Shelter. Now, this facility is primarily used by the UWG cheerleading program and marching band for practice and to house their equipment. University of West Georgia Director of Planning and Construction, Cherie Schrader, says the building does not provide enough storage space for the band and cheer team equipment, nor does it provide security for any equipment. Modifications include mending the falling insulation, providing better restroom fixtures, and upgrading the lighting. Supply chain issues causes renovation delays. Some thought they'd be moving back into the Humanities building this summer, but a plethora of problems have put the brakes on this move. The much-needed renovations to the 1970s building includes enhancing instruction and classroom space, removing some of the brick walls to allow for more flexibility with furniture, technology, and collaboration spaces. University of West Georgia Director of Planning and Construction, Cherie Schrader, says delays are a result of the COVID shutdown and the war in Ukraine, causing some manufacturing plants to close down. These factors make it nearly impossible to get specific parts, such as computer chips and other components for the building's mechanical systems.
Unfortunately, we've seen some delays in material supply, specifically where we have chillers and air handling units, things like that.
Due to these delays, the Humanities building is now scheduled to open in the winter of 2024. Students packed Love Valley to celebrate other countries' customs and traditions. Henna tattoos, caricature drawings, culturally fused foods, and music were just some of the many traditions students could experience while chowing down on free food from local food trucks. The International Festival, celebrated at the university for nearly 40 years, organized by Explore West. The event provides students with opportunities to learn about other countries. Food, fun, and fellowship is why students attend these events. As graduation is approaching, students are gearing up to secure that big job or obtain an internship. Students gathered in the campus center ballroom, hoping to connect with their future employers and plan their next step. The Career and Graduate School Connections organized its Spring Career and Internship Fair, where students from all majors showed up in their best dress to impress potential employers. Over 20 businesses from the surrounding area were set to talk to students. Companies such as the Sugar Foods Corporation, Team Georgia Careers, and Georgia State Patrol. The overall goal of the annual career fair is to provide students with a pathway to an internship, a job, or just to simply network with business professionals. Art students remain busy as the department prepares for several art exhibitions. The show Elementals is the third of 6 collections to be displayed this semester in the Visual Arts Building. This exhibition features art of all kinds, including wire sculptures, autobiographical comics, and planner collages. All displayed artwork is created by first-year students in the Art Foundations program. First, second, and third place were rewarded, as well as honorable mentions. Visit UWG's Visual Arts page for more information. These mammoth objects of art take influence from an interest in biology. Plastics and other synthetic materials are often used to illustrate sculptor Jamie Grimes' colossal craft. The Kalmia exhibition highlights science in the form of art. Grimes used light panels placed around the room that shine on white plastic flower sculptures, which changes its appearance from many points around the room. The exhibition is driven by science and objects that are displayed in the form of art. Little ones love learning how to make dessert as much as they love to eat them. Toddlers to tweens mix it up at the cookie decorating class at Peace and Cupcakes. Recently, the bakery started offering kids classes so they could put their budding culinary skills into action. From creating trims along cookies to designing sprinkles on cupcakes, parents are able to enjoy watching their children make delicious treats. The owners, Mandy and Morgan, opened their store during the pandemic. With the idea of making their desserts from scratch, Peace and Cupcakes offers classes and cake and cookie decorating throughout the year for both adults and children. As you can see, the children are having fun and finding peace in decorating cookies along with cupcakes while having a messy good time. For more information about the classes, please visit their website at peaceandcupcakes.com. Thank you for watching WUTV News Brief. We will see you next time.